Hey guys, when it comes to defects, I'm pretty understanding. I've visited factories before, and things sometimes slip through the QA. If you've ever received a defective product, it's normal to have companies replace it or repair it. And generally, they get it right the first time. With Dell, well, Dell is something else. So let me share with you my story about the Dell Inspiron 15. It's given me a new appreciation on how bad tech support can really be. Welcome back to Reviews for Life. A little while back, I got the Dell Inspiron 15 during their back to school sale. It seemed like a great decision at the time. A modern CPU, amazing price, and had decent reviews, at least on Dell's website. Now, when I received the laptop, there was this really minor defect. In fact, it's so minor, it's almost not even worth mentioning. And that's it. The back panel would click when I pressed it against the laptop. I mean, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gone through the trouble, because it really didn't affect performance or anything at all. But every once in a while, you want to live a little and ignore warnings from others, just to experience things firsthand. So I gave Dell tech support a call, and the service rep on the other end was super friendly. She listened to my issue and even asked for a video to understand it better. Unfortunately, that didn't speed up the troubleshooting process, because she still had to go through the debugging procedure. This procedure is basically a script they have to go through to rule out any user error. After about an hour, we agreed that there was something wrong with the backplate and that it needs to be replaced. A few days later, a technician comes over and replaced it. At the end of the service, the technician said it wasn't just a backplate issue. During the assembly process, what likely happened was that the backplate was forced into place, damaging the chassis. So even with the new backplate, there's still clicking noises. He requested a second repair, this time with a chassis repair. Now, the chassis repair is a little involved. Essentially, you have to remove the internals and the screen and migrate everything from the old one to the new one. So after a few days, another technician came and did just that. Now, I was pretty busy that day, so after he was done, I immediately signed off on his work. Later that evening, when I go to use the laptop, surprise, the trackpad no longer clicks. Now, normally, this is the point where I would cut my losses and return the thing to buy something else. But I was honestly really curious to see how long it would take for a full repair. Also, at the time, it was hard to find any better deals than what I got. So once again, I gave Dell another call, and the representative made me go through another troubleshooting procedure. Again, after an hour, we agreed that there was something wrong with the trackpad. A few days later, a technician came over to repair it. After learning my lesson the first time, I made sure the keyboard and trackpad were both working before signing it off. Later that evening, I go to charge the laptop, and now the charger is no longer recognized. What's weird is that the USB-C power delivery port charged flawlessly. In software engineering, we do something called regression testing to avoid issues just like this one. It's basically where you ensure any new fixes or features don't break the previous ones. Dell should really include something like this in the repair manual. At this point, I was approaching the 30-day return window. But for the sake of making content, I decided to go down this path just to see how far it'll go. After another 1-hour call, the rep determined that the charging brick needed replacement. And once again, the technician came over to perform the repair. This time, even after the replacement, the issue still persisted. The technician told me that he's never seen this particular issue before and calls Dell tech support. Now, this line is slightly different from what consumers get to use because it requires an employee ID. After about an hour, the end result was that I needed to send in the laptop for a complete diagnosis and repair. About 3 days later, I got everything back and it worked as it should. I've been using this particular laptop for about 2 weeks now, and there weren't any issues that I noticed. They even installed a clean version of Windows without any of the bloatware. So how bad is Dell tech support? Well, they did get it right, eventually. After 4 weeks of back and forth and 3 hours on the phone, yeah, it's pretty bad. The lessons learned here is that if you don't get a perfect laptop right from the get-go, then it's probably best if you return it back to the store and order another one. If that isn't an option, then request to have it sent in to the depot for repairs. This avoids wasting time on the phone and having technicians come over. All right, guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.